Good morning, guys. Today is a perfect day for me to be doing this video because number one, my husband had to go out to get the truck looked at, and so that means there's no phone calls going on and the TV and everything else. But also because my canner, my 23 quart, has been acting a little funny. I went to go use it yesterday and it wasn't coming up to pressure. The lid just didn't seem right. There was a lot of things that just didn't seem right. So we're going to do this video. Now the very first thing you should be doing with your pressure canner, now I'm only talking about the Presto 23 quart pressure canner, okay? I'm not talking about any other pressure canner. I'm only talking about this one in particular because I believe this is probably the one most people are going to be buying because you can double stack with it. Now to double stack with it, you have to purchase a second, like a second ring, or not ring, sorry, separator. This thing. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, words are not coming to mind right at the moment. Canning rack, there we go. You have to purchase that separately. It only comes with one canning rack, and I have my one in the canner right now. Now, you should be reading your book. Make sure you read this. But right in here on page 8 and 9, for using the canner for the first time, before using the canner for the first time. Sorry guys, I don't have my glasses on. But right in here, there, right underneath at the bottom, it says helpful hint. To help yourself understand the operation of the pressure canner, pour 4 cups of water into the canner and follow the steps for the canner. So they actually tell you to do this. This is referred to as a water test to make sure the canner is actually working properly and you're not putting any jars in it or nothing like that that you could possibly break, damage, or anything of that nature because you're new to canning. Now, personally, I don't say put 4 cups of water in there. I say fill it up to the canning line, which is 3 quarts of water, I do believe. I think they tell you 3 quarts. Hold on, let me double check that. Yeah, 3 quarts of water. But there is lines. Even if I tried to show you on the camera, guys, it's not going to pick up. There's little lines on the sides of your canner, only on one side. There's the top line, which is for pressure cooking. The middle line, which I'm assuming is for pressure cooking as well. But there's also a bottom line at the bottom for pressure canning. That's the line you want to fill the water up to. Now, I am going to add a splash of vinegar to mine because I have really hard water. Sorry. And so yes, the outside of my canner is not pretty looking. It's not pristine looking because number one, my food is not touching the outside of my canner, so I don't care. And yeah, I just don't care. Now I'm just going to back you up a little bit here. Okay. So you've got your safety valve here. Now, I think most people actually set their canner up this way. I set mine up this way, so I apologize. You can set it up whichever way you want. So this here is the safety valve. If something were to happen, this will just shoot out and the pressure will come down. So, number one safety feature, you're not going to explode it. Okay. You need to make sure your pit cock is clear. Now, whoop, and that's a word I can't say around my husband because he would start laughing and giggling because he is a child. So you want to make sure this is clean and clear. Yes, you can see how hard my water is. Okay, and then there is your pressure gauge. And then there is this thing, which I can never remember what it's called. Someone will tell me down in the comments. This will pop up while you're canning. This holds the pressure in. So, I've got my water in there. I've got my vinegar in there. Come on. Now, what I've done is I took my ring. I have a second ring. I think this is what I need to replace on both my canners. So, I replaced it with my other one to see if this is going to make a difference. There we go. It feels different. We'll see. Anyway, so Now, if you have really hard water like I do, make sure to give this thing a bang out every so often because it will form up in there and hang out there. So I'm just going to turn my gas on here, and I'm going to move you a little bit. Yes, guys, when I'm actually canning, my regulator is normally right there. So that way I know where it is and I don't lose it. Because when I get canning, my kitchen can become a mess. So if I put it there, I know where it is. So what we want to do is wait, because I need to bring this up to pressure, and I have it on high. That's just because that's how my stove works with this. That's why they recommend doing this. So in that way you can learn the canner and learn your stove, because every stove is different, every canner is different. So what I'm going to wait for is this to pop up, because this will come up. And this valve will come up on mine. Now, not everybody's will. I won't start venting until my back valve is up, because that's how my canner works. Actually, it works like that for both my canners. Somebody was letting me know that with theirs won't pop up until after their 10-minute venting and they put the regulator on, whereas mine pops up beforehand. So every canner, every stove, everything it's going to be different, but the procedure is still the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. This will take probably half hour, maybe not even, to get to that stage, and I'm hoping it will get to that stage. So we'll see, because my last time I tried, it wouldn't get to that stage. So we'll be right back once it gets to the next part for canning. And this is my normal site when I'm canning. 2 dogs to the side, because they know they're not allowed in the kitchen when I'm canning. Okay, now we're over that little cute commercial break. Okay, so different angle here, and I'm on my phone. As you can see, ooh, it's a little warm. Okay, now as you can see, this valve, the safety valve, has popped up. So that's a good thing. That means my canner is starting to get some pressure built up in there, but it's not building up, it's heating up, because it was doing it a moment ago. The water was starting to spit out of there, and you can hear it's making some noise. All normal, and yes, I know my canner's filthy. I'm fully aware of it. I've had it sitting upstairs, and well, I have dogs. So that hasn't come up. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it's gonna do it again. You gonna spit? There we go. Normal. Should be happening. That's okay. You want to see that. That just means it's going to be starting to vent probably pretty soon. So we'll be back. Okay, so I'm hoping I can pick this up with this camera. Let's see. There we go. Yep. Okay, you can see I have some steam coming out of this. It's not very much yet, because it's still building itself up. And the back here, hold on, let me move you, oh so carefully, to this side. Okay, see how the back valve just popped up? Now my canner's going to start venting. Let's move you back this way again. Gosh, my canner looks so dirty on this camera, but it's not that dirty. Wow. Okay, anyway. I know it's dirty, but guys, it's really not that bad. I wish it wouldn't pick up quite that bad. Okay, can you hear that? It's way too hard. I need to turn my heat down a little bit. And if water comes out of the canner, like can you see that? Yeah, okay. Out of here, that's okay. It's gonna do that. It's gonna spit water and everything. So, there we go. Now it's really starting to get its vent going here. It needs to be a steady stream for 10 minutes. Mine's almost there. Okay. All right. So in 10 minutes, we're going to put this, the regulator, on there. So we will be back in 10 minutes. Okay, now I don't think it's going to pick it up, but I have a lovely stream going here. No, go figure. That's okay. I can see it. The camera might pick it up a little bit. I don't know. Now, some people are going to might say that this is a bit too hard, and it's just because it's my canner. If I go any lower than this, my canner will actually start losing pressure. So you have to really get to know your canner and your stove in order to really figure out how to get this steady stream for your canner. So it's been going for 10 minutes now. I'm just going to put my regulator on there. Now, if you're a little nervous about doing that, you might burn yourself or something, just use a hot pad and you'll be fine. I used a hot pad for the beginning until I got used to it. I also used to stand way back yonder because I was terrified of this thing, but I'm not now. I always in my mind have a worry about it because I never want to, you know, just get so comfortable with it that I get, I guess you could say, cocky with it. Now, let me, okay. Now you can see my canner is starting to build pressure up. I pretty much actually almost have it where I need it to sit on this burner. But I'm going to let this build up until it hits my altitude. My altitude is 11 pounds on this, 11 psi. But if I had a weighted gauge, mine would be 10 pounds. So I need to let this get up to 11, and then I'm going to try and hold it there. But with my canner actually sits better between 12 and 13. So I go with it. And also, another tip here, now I know you can't see it because I'm just going to let it sit there, but you need to know your burners. So on every stove there is a high burning burner and then, you know, two lower ones and then a lower for the higher one. Know your stove and know which burners. Now, with my big canner, this is the burner I need to use. But if I have my 16 quart canner, I need to use my lowest burning burner for it, on almost the lowest setting for it to work. And again, it holds around 12 pounds, or yeah, 12 psi, sorry. So we're just going to let this go up until it hits there, and then I'm going to let this go for 10 minutes because I'm not doing anything with it. I'm just testing it, and it seems to be working better. So I know it was just the seal, or the ring in my canner. So I need to get some new rings and stuff like that to replace them. So yes, so I'm just going to get it up to 12, because that's normally where I aim for now, and let it sit for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to shut my burner off, but I'll bring you guys back for that. Okay, one more thing I want to add to this. So I now have this at 12 pounds, and this is between, you know, it's roughly where my canner likes sitting. So when I turn the heat down, I don't just, you know, go from 8 to 6. No. Do it gradually. Do not just, you know, flick your burner over. No. Don't do that. You want to do it gradually, slowly, little bit at a time until you get it to where it needs to be. You do it too quickly, you're going to shock the canner. And then you could end up with a mess. So just don't do it. Nice and gradually. So I'm just, you know, standing here slowly turning my burner down. Now I have it exactly where my burner likes to sit, and it will just sit at this for as long as I want it to. as long as my kids aren't home. My kids are home, that's another story, because my kids are always bouncing around and everything else, so my canner likes to jump around the odd time. But that's just the glory of children and having two doorways right beside my stove. I learned that the hard way. So, but anyway, so as you can see, the safety valve is up. The back valve is up. What the heck is that thing called? Let me get my book. Okay, what is that thing called? It is, oh, it's the air vent. Okay. Here's me thinking it had a pretty fancy name. It does not. It's just called the air vent. So in the book, they call this thing the regulator, underneath of it the vent pipe, the air vent or the cover lock, and then the safety valve. Or the overpressure plug, but we all call it the safety valve. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to let my canner sit here for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to just shut the heat off to it. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes, and you can see my canner is still right where I left it, and because I went and did dishes, I kind of ignored it, but you shouldn't do that when you're first starting. So I now know what was wrong with my canner, or in your case, you're getting used to it. Do this as many times as you need to in order to get used to the canner. But now I'm done, so I'm just going to shut the gas off to it, or the power off to it, whichever burner you have, and just leave it. Don't touch it. Don't put ice water, don't put water on it, don't do anything. Just leave it. And we'll be back when you know the canner's safe to touch again. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, now you can see my gauge is at 0. Whoop! My gauge is at 0. I was trying to show you, well, that valve was still up, but that valve just came down. So that's a good thing. That valve is down. Now my plug, the safety plug, has come down, and this is reading at 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this. There is no hissing or noise or anything. So I can now remove that. But if it hisses, don't remove it. But there we go. That is how you use this. And if you go to open it, you'll want to crack it open and turn it away from yourself. But you want to let it sit with the weight off for 10 minutes. And then what you're going to want to do is turn it, release that out. Most people probably wear gloves. And just turn it so it sits like this. So the lid is still on there, but the steam can come out and it can slowly cool down. And you'll want to let that sit for 10 minutes as well. And then take it off, and then you can start pulling your jars out. And you shouldn't lose too much liquid or anything if you do it this way. Shouldn't. Can't promise you. So there you go. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that. You just turn it and let it sit like this for 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I thought you could see that. But there we go. That is how 101 on the Presto pressure canner. And you do the same thing if you're a pressure cooking in this as well. So I hope this answers some questions. I hope this will make a couple people, 2 particular people I know for sure, and they're both family members, that will help this out. Will help them out. There we go. I could spit the sentence out. Any questions? Leave them down below. Any future videos you guys might like to see, leave them down below. And I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully. We'll see. Bye!